So basically, essentially, this was not our first try or our first attempt or our first prototype in trying to do this. We failed a lot, and we kept trying to do it, but in the end, we just came up with this system, which is a dripping system, and it's basically with the pump being outside, the air flows through the little tube, and it connects to the big one. So making a hole inside the big tube, which is out of the water, as the air flows through, the water goes in, taking the water with it. And what happens is that when we have the plants up here, we made little holes in here, so the water keeps dripping down, thus watering the plants when we don't have to be here.
And the biggest problem we were trying to solve was the plants being watered without us having to be present.
Well, no, it's not the original one, and so we changed the whole thing. We can use the air pump because we had the strings first, and then we changed it to the air pump with the tube. We connected that one to that one, and then we put it back.
And this improved our design and ultimate goal of solving problems because it actually works compared to the other prototypes. So, sure.
Do you think? Don't you think you took too much time and I think that's not gonna work in my opinion. With all of respect. So yeah.
You think what?
With all the respect, I don't think that's gonna work because I think it's gonna get overflow with water. It's
that's
not.
No, see.
No, I think yours is gonna get overflowed with water.
We put the holes in the bottom, so if it does get over-soaked, the water's gonna drip. The water's gonna drip out of the bottle, so it will not get over-soaked.
We want to be able to grow at least 8 heads of lettuce, so with the least amount of money, and we want to grow it quickly and efficiently. So some ideas that we came up with were we first going to use flower pots and then put the rock pools and vermiculate in it, and then use the air pumps to pump the bubbles up. But we realized that if we do that, then the vermiculate and the rock pool, they're not going to be able to absorb the water as fast. So we needed a more direct way. And another idea we came up with were we could float the pots on bubble wrap, and then so that the water would come up more quickly. But then we don't want it to be soaking wet, so that's why we came up with this system.
And our system is a water-filter hydroponic system, and basically we have an egg carton that's suspended over this plastic bin, and there's water inside, and the air stones we tape to the bottom, and there's tubing that connects the air stones out into the motor, and the motor pumps air into the water, and it goes through the air stones and makes bubbles, and then we have holes at the bottom of the carton, and we put about 1/5 of the rock wools into to hang down the bottom of the egg carton. So when the bubbles pop, it wets the bottom of the rock wool, and then through adhesion and cohesion, it works its way through the mediums to the seeds and then start to grow.
So this design solves the problem by getting enough water, but not too much of it, to the rock wool so there be enough moisture. And the air pump runs constantly so the moisture doesn't stop. And it's not the original design of it. Well, it's the original design, but it's not the original prototype. And it was changed because of the materials. So originally we were going to try to use plastic, but we decided to use egg cartons because it was easier for the availability of what we could get.
So we improved the design by using egg cartons instead of plastic because it was able to hold the rock wool more efficiently. And this solves the ultimate goal because we are efficiently growing the lettuce. Plus, it will not fall into the water because it's tanks.
And first, before we made this, we used styrofoam on top of the fish tank. And then we cut out some square holes in order for bees to fit inside the hole. So we used some rocks, and then we put them inside these cups, and then we used one of these and we put them inside, and then we used seeds and put them in there. Then we used water, you know, make it sprout a little. And so you see, it collapsed. So we moved on to this. You know, we use cardboard instead of styrofoam so it won't collapse again. And we use a little bit. We use this in order to hold the water and stuff. So we use the flower cups, put some rocks in it like you did those, and start it all over again. And we used and we used these tubes in order to get the water to flow. And instead of using 8, we used 5 because we didn't have enough space. So we had to use these strings and put them inside these cups. And once we put the strings inside the water, we thought that the seeds would sprout that way.
Okay, questions for this group?
So
Is that Titanic?
how did it collapse?
Well, we're not really sure. We had we thought somebody came over to our project and broke our styrofoam. So we used cardboard instead, which we should have did the first time.
No, because never. Wouldn't cardboard break since the water is there?
Well, since we used this, of course it would. So next question. Yes.
Did you try to at least fix it before you failed ethically? But I mean, you accept
It's okay.
It's a good thing. No, I'm just saying because if you saw it like not like you see the others, see how they're like growing or whatever. I'm guessing you would have noticed the progress they were making.
Yeah.
So like, did you at least try to see?
Well, we did, but at the last minute, it just collapsed.
You know
So
what that is? It's a
we
life
thought we had to make up something bootleg right quick, and you know, try to get the ball rolling.
Why didn't you guys come in?
Well, actually we did, but some of us forgot.
It's okay.
So do you?
Huh?
So this doesn't work. The plants aren't gonna grow here.
Oh yeah, it will.
It did.
Yes, so this one's already starting to sprout. I mean, it's a little progress, but
How
yeah.
How long did it take to do?
One day actually.
Oh, good job.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay, Kipper, feel Brandon's question?
So you think somebody intentionally broke your project?
Yeah.
Like on purpose? Like it was that good?
yeah.
We're trying to grow lettuce, make it cleaner and fresher and available throughout October to May.
We created a system where each plant would get enough water, making sure all the plants are supplied.
Well, at first this design was designed to be used with straws, but once I saw that the straws weren't sturdy enough to hold the water, and I needed a thicker hose so the water could flow more fluently. So I decided to go with the hose and poke some holes on it using the air pump, which is going down this little pot right here filled with gravel, and the air pump blows air through a straw that I put in it, and the bubbles make the water rise up, and it sucks them in until it turns into water up here, and it flows all around.
This design is supposedly going to make sure that we solve the problem by each lettuce plant being supplied with enough water, and if it's not watered enough, it won't grow.
And this wasn't, like I said earlier, it wasn't our original design. At first we started out with the small little tubing like this, but I figured that there was no way to get water to flow through it if the pump is only flowing water, pushing air out, and it won't suck any in. So that's when the whole straws came in. Once I saw the straws were still not thick enough, or the opening wasn't wide enough for the water to flow through it, I had to go look for some bigger material, which was the pipe. And then I hooked it up to the smaller pipe as it gets to the end, so the water will have more pressure going out, and it'll reach these last three, and finally ending at this last one.
now we are sure that each lettuce plant has enough nutrients to grow, and no matter if it's May or October, it will grow.
Any questions for the group?
Don't you think those two things would be in the way of the plant would actually grow?
Excuse me, ma'am. Two things.
Just because of the height.
Oh, no, because you see, that's the magic about plants.
They
As
grow
they grow,
around it.
they go over things and around things. I'm just telling you, it's common sense.
We engineers out here, girl. I don't buy the lump.
Anything else?
We use the air pumps to make some bubbles in there so the strings can absorb the water a little bit faster. And yeah.
So basically the roll will absorb enough water to make the plant absorb the wood. And we use basically the air pump to make the roll absorb more water quickly and easily as possible to make the plant grow.
The problem that we were trying to solve was we needed to grow 8 things of lettuce for a restaurant, but it was supposed to be a cheaper way and a cleaner way. And we tried to do it, but we only have like 2 growing.
I guess you could say our project is the cheapest way because there's not a lot of materials used.
So I have one. Why did you use 2 pumps instead of 1?
Faster, better bubbles.
Okay.
We experimented with one air pump. It's just one side was absorbing more water. The rope was absorbing more water on one side. So we decided to put the other support air pump so the other side will absorb water.
Final questions? All right. Nice job. Thank you.
The problem that we're trying to solve is how to keep the plants watered without having to do it.
The ideas that we were doing is to measure the string to we measured the string 8.5 inches, and then we tied it to the knot, and we kept it in place. We put the vertical on the bottle to hold onto the string, and then we put the teapot on top of it, and then wet it to give it a head start. The design that we saw was the string is absorbing the water to go up to the teapot.
This wasn't the original prototype. We had to change it because we couldn't figure out how to get the pump to get the water into the teapots.
We improved nothing because we weren't done what we had before.
It's a horticulture system mixed with a bubbling system inside of it. The materials we use were the fish tanks, some string, the soil and seeds, and the bubbling system, an air pump, and styrofoam to make this. Oh, the problem was that we needed to grow lettuce. Yeah, we're trying to grow lettuce better in a faster way.
The way the model works is these strings we braided here and these are here are supposed to absorb the water so it can rise up to the seed. And the bubbles were to just give it a little boost and help the water rise more. This solves the problem by, because the bubbles give more support, it'll go faster and more efficient. It's not our original designs. It's, we've had a lot of problems. And we first started to just do with just the bubbles and fill the tank, and we realized it might be soaked or it might dry out. But we made a few changes with the strings that we had to braid. Yeah.
Any questions for the group?
I want to know why it's broken in the other second part.
Obviously,
you guys are not going to have a successful...
It's a question.
It's a question.
Gerardo, question, not a comment.
You're not gonna have a
This wasn't strong
successful growing.
Let me get answered these questions.
I'm gonna be straight up.
Oh, we put a lot of work into it. So.
Everything.
When your lettuce start growing, it's gonna get heavier, and your shirts is gonna fall in the water.
Everything.
We didn't ask for criticism.
Okay, any questions for the group?
Why did you guys
No.
use styrofoam?
Because
We thought it would hold.
smart.
Yeah, one of our,
It was strong enough.
the other members aren't here,
And he
It
thought
has
it was
so much
strong enough
grain.
to hold it up.
but this one will hold.
Yeah.
But that was kind of last minute. We discovered that that works better than this right here.
Okay, so some problem solving, good?